Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We are here, and once again, it is our great pleasure to be in your reality. And so immediately the cat is out of the bag. We were going to let it sneak up on our listeners that we had a guest, and we are going to keep you in suspense and wondering who might the guest be. Would it be the charismatic Khan or another visitor? And right away he boomed his voice out. So he said good afternoon to all of you. So yes, we have a guest. It is Khan, the head of our illustrious IT department. And he's visiting, and today is week after Easter, April number 16. It's called Orthodox Easter or some such, which everyone's got their own holiday. And it is the year 2023. We must make certain that we get these right. Remember, we do not live in your time. So when we enter and we focus on your reality, yes, we use the files of accessibility. Our vehicle, of course, is a mind file. Yes, it's a term there that the mind controllers use. We are not mind controllers. We are mind expanders. We are mind enhancers. We are au naturel within the cosmos, and we are dimensionals. And one of the subjects we're going to talk to you about today is dimensional awareness. And also we want to talk to you about the importance of 3D awareness. That means in the body, fully present, fully operative. In other words, you are using all of your abilities and your facilities. Very, very, very important. The planets, of course, are doing their thing. Soon there's going to be some more changes. Just last month, in the moon of March, you had Saturn, the Lord of Karma, the teacher of big lessons, move into the sign of Pisces. Be there more than 2 years. A few weeks later, in the moon of March 2023, Pluto moves to sign of 0 degrees Aquarius. Just to review, folks, when planets make what is called an ingress, that means they move from one territory to another. They move forward. And this is all from your point of view. And so many people have misunderstood astrology or denigrated it, or in today's world everyone's staring down, all hunched over, staring, when the action is when you look up. That's why the pigeons are flying high for freedom, and they're encouraging you to look up and to see what's going on. And of course, controllers, and of which there are many, with many agendas and many dimensions, including your third dimension here, 3D reality, and there's lots of influencers. The pigeons want to say that they are well on their way, especially what is it called, the Pidgey Pitchcast or Pidgey podcast called What is Real? That's their podcast, and they're saying that people are going to figure it out, and lots of times exactly the opposite of what you are being told is the truth. So what is real compels us all to recognize that all of humanity, all creatures included, you're all on a journey. We included. Do not think that we are not immersed in this. We are deeply immersed in your reality and invested, and we sort of got sucked in a bit, if we may use your colloquial terms there, because as we focus on you, we get to know you. You become endeared to us. You love us. We entertain you. We love you back. We entertain you. You entertain us. We grow together. In some capacity, do remember, you are human. You live on earth. You are located in 3D reality. You have a body. Right now, your vastness of your multidimensional consciousness spirit is focused in the body you occupy. There's nothing wrong with it. It is selected. It is purposely chosen. You have deep purpose and meaning to everything in all of your life, in all of your lives. And it will continue to unfold in such capacity. You realize, as humans, that you use a minute amount of your capabilities. We will be having the 35th anniversary just down the road there, and perhaps there'll be, some bubbly and celebrations, but we'll be patient with all of that. Today we are here for business. Although rumor is about, we peeked through the dimensions, that there was a party here at the vehicle's home station yesterday. It appears that champagne was toasted. Yes. Our champagne. Just mentioning, as you say. So, but we have a celebration ahead, and we are quite happy that you are happy with our champagne, our jokes, our insights, with our guidance to assist you. And once again, as we assist you, we are invested in how you unfold. So, there's a lot going on. So much happening. It's almost becoming too much for a certain segment of people. For the majority, it is too much. But they can still keep their feet on the ground, mostly stay in the body, worry, yes, but they're not blown away. The weaker people in your culture all over the world, the ones that would be carrying unresolved trauma, those that would be unhappy, those that would be involved in drugs, domestic violence, food shortages, and then of course the big one there that many people are unwittingly invested in, but they are still creators of their reality, just like you created and qualified for who you are in this lifetime. There's no mistakes. There's no whoopsies. There's no, oh, this was just a random accident of nothingness. All is self-created. But as we were saying, you only utilize a small part of your capabilities, your facilities. We used to say that we talked about junk DNA and how there was so much stored in those strands of DNA, and of course so much in that cranial capacity. And of course those of you who know a little bit of alternative history realize that there were ancestors that looked human, and more that were a variety of shapes and sizes and cranial capacity. And those of you who are very aware understand that you are easily manipulated. That's the way the game goes. But those who manipulate are also manipulated, because everything is dimensionally connected. It's all connected through karma. Again, please think back to around March 8th and the weeks thereafter. Again, today's the 16th of April. So what's gone on in the last 5 or 6 weeks with Saturn in Pisces? It can bring It definitely puts you into a new terrain of being. It's sort of a planetary collective. All right, let's give ourselves the next 2 years to really deal with our stuff. You have an expression, we modify it a bit, the manure hits the fan. The 12th house can bring you spiritual attunement, searching for God, spiritual renewal, heightened creativity, big ahas, putting the whole thing together. But also can bring great illness, defeat, insanity. It's the house of insanity, 12th house. And Saturn's visiting Pisces, which is the ruler of the 12th house. And in some of your charts, Saturn could be in your 12th house. But for the planet, it's karma time. It's also time to grow, put the whole story together. So much is happening. All of a sudden, it seems agenda are being pressed against you. News, the things you hear in the media, even on your World Wide Web, they're supposed to give you free access. It's a tracking device. Yes, you can press buttons and look up anything you want, and rather than go to the library or the bookshelf or ask mom or dad, you can look anything up you want. Problem is, most people can't remember it. Because when you walk to pick up a book, and then you have to search the pages, whether the index or you look in the glossary or you look in the table of contents, you're searching. And there is an eye-hand coordination. Yes, it's slow, but it created a different type of intelligence within the body. When you use the eyes and the hands together, whether you are crocheting, knitting, looking things up, reading, you're going to enhance the neural networks, the synapses that make these connections, and they jump from one neural bundle to another. You want those healthy and strong. When you were kids, you could jump puddles. How many of you at 50 and older are going to go out jumping puddles, unless, of course, you are a jogger or an athletic player? So you slow down as you age, but these devices slow you down when you are young, and you miss certain neural development, the best way to say it. So the young, your youth, are the most harmed by the devices, because they did not have a chance to jump rope, to be bored, to wonder, to go pull a book off a shelf, to look something up, to look in a dictionary. But you see, when you look in the dictionary, it's very enlightening. When you look something up, you're opening up a book and it has 2 pages, 2 facings, and there's all those other words. And even if you don't study the other words, there's part of your brain that sees that there's all those other words. And part of your neural development and your spirit in the body knows there's more to learn. Your devices have hypnotized you, in conditioning is the word you use now, but we like hypnotizing, and limiting you to think you are smart and that you know things, because it's so easy to get it, and then to announce it or to repeat it or to push the buttons into whatever you do there, the things you send out to one another. Now, as harmful as these deadly devices are, as we call them, it would not be the now. It would not be this time of confusion, of too much information, of neural overload, of excessive lies, of massive uses of hypnosis and and mind control techniques to manipulate human behavior. The devices, of course, as we said, are tracking devices. You think, well, who's tracking that? Is it the NSA, or it must be the Biden team, or it must be Macron in France, or whatever country, oh no, it's Putin. Oh no, it's got to be the Red Dragon. Gigi, yes. The world's bad guy. He's a bad guy, of course. You can't harvest organs out of your people and sell them and make that to be a medical practice and think that you are going to be a leader of the world. Any regime, anywhere, that starts to portray the dark practices that ran amok in what is called the Atlantean era. And again, we cover a certain slice of history. But from that point of view, the energies of karmic cycles, of astrological cycles that repeat themselves. Saturn is a 28, 29 year cycle. The moon again 28, 29 days. History repeats itself. And you can say, yes, well, yes, it seems to. It can repeat itself with exquisite and mind-boggling exactitude. This is why you have scholars that study the Hebrew texts. They study ancient Greek. They want to know what the Egyptians knew. What did those in Sumeria know? And of course there's so many other ancient civilizations that have lived on your earth. Their remnants, their stories have not been brought forth as of yet. Why? Because you are genetically altered. You only use a small fraction of your DNA and your cranial capacity. And the devices are shrinking it. At the same time, knowledge is expanding at a rate that's not been seen for long millennia. So you are in a conundrum. You are in a squeeze. Which way to go? What to do? This is creating a neural overload, a mental collapse. As we said, the weakest are going to start acting out. How do they act out? They lose their moral compass. So there's no rational thinking. There's no matter of consequences that could unfold. And you notice that all over the world, every layer of authority, institutions, systems, Capricorn territory, it's been breaking down for quite a number of years. But you are now at the point of recognizing broken. Broken. It's all broken. Let that sink in. It's broken. It's all in perfect timing, in perfect order. Now, the question is whose order and whose timing? The planets play a role because they serve as a way not only to keep your consciousness looking up and realizing there's a lot going on when you look at the stars. When you live in urban areas and all you ever see your whole life is lights. There's been stories that talked about years ago. People lived in an urban area, and at one point they're already sort of maybe 50s, 60s, 70s, and they were taken out into the deserts, we believe, of California, or maybe it was someplace else. Pitch dark. They thought it was fake. They didn't think it was real. Laugh. You can laugh. We know you are laughing. But the bottom line is, it shows you how easily you can feel that you are in touch with everything, but missing the natural world. The Pidgey say, when you ask what's real, they say nature is real, and nature wins always. Nature always wins. Nature will win out in the end. It has endurance. Nature is connected to the divine. The divine, people call it God, but they get mixed up between God, and then God's favorite son, Jesus, only son, Jesus, and then you have all these other religions with all their other gods and relatives and prophets, and they're really real for sure. And then you have the ancient religions, and then you have the what do you call them, the animistic religions, you have the pagan religions, and just imagine that as above, you heard that expression, as above, so below. Just imagine, folks, let your mind picture it. Yes, picture it. Because when you read and do things by eye-hand coordination, and also when you daydream, when you just drift, when you allow the mind to be active and to let your imagination come forward and to picture it. So we like to give you stories that you can play with your imagination and picture. You can picture the guy going out there freaking out, as if you are in the darks and you are in California, in the mountains or in the deserts. Our vehicle's been many times. What a sight to see. But we'll tell you this, our vehicle says now, tell the Aussies, the best cosmos she ever saw, was in Australia. Absolutely. She went to the, is it called the Flinders Range or Flanders Range or something, exquisito. Met with good friends and some Aboriginals and really got down to the camping scene, but our vehicle is a Girl Scout, brownie, all of that. And then out by Ayers Rock and on the way around all Australia. It's dark, it's a big continent, it's unsettled. You think you're not on Earth when you see the kind of majesty that is out there. So when you can look at the majesty, it connects you with the divine. But as spring bursts forth, or as autumn begins to change the landscape in the southern hemisphere, there's a majesty, there's a wonder if you learn to pay attention to it. And when you tune into nature, you begin to touch into the multidimensional existence of reality. It's a thought. We're not going to go off on religions and churches and how, we'll give you a tidbit here, but Christianity and the pagan world were fighting for a long time. In the pagan world, there's many definitions, depending upon, where you lived, what you participated in, but in general it would be thought of from certain points of view that there were too many gods and sacrifices and sexual bacchanals, and there was a lot of lack of morality, because you are energy creatures and you generate energy. And there's a lot of beings, some are called gods with little g's. They would be perhaps visiting extraterrestrials, the Anunnaki family and others. They have their own minions, their own archons and dimensional beings, and they like to ride you. And this is part of the problem today. With your devices, your lack of understanding that you are part of something majestic. Christianity, when it came in, it felt that the pagans were doing rituals and calling in dark forces and sacrificing animals and people, all of which was sacrificing and happening. That was all happening. And so they have their Lord and Savior teaching peace and love, and of course he was sacrificed, so to speak, and on a cross, the Anunnaki cross, and been fighting ever since. It would be 2,000 years ago, just to make it in very simple terms. Well, there is a thing we've been talking about, those of you who listened for a while do remember, we talk about regime change. That these extraterrestrial overlords, in the Bible they are called Nephilim, and they believe they are giants and fallen angels, and it's sort of simplistic way of looking at it, but if you live in Iraq, you know the story. Most of the people, maybe they don't, but certainly researchers have flocked there for a few hundred years, attempting to decode a very mysterious and very sophisticated and advanced civilization that simply sprang up out of nowhere. Archaeologists on your planet, when they look at the historical record of ancientness, it appears that what occurred in Sumer, Mesopotamia, as you call it, land between the two rivers, sprang up like out of a dream. Too advanced. There's no crawling and like you do as you develop as human beings. You don't suddenly turn into a fully grown unless you are a clone. And of course that's how it works with clones. They can be produced out of a single cell. Well, perhaps everything starts with a single cell, but then it would be a nebula. It is possible, and the extraterrestrials can do it, and whatever the extraterrestrials can do, whether they are good nicks or no good nicks, they've been toying with you, they've been playing with you, and they can inspire you in your head, even if you are a primitivo. Even if you are living in times of post-technological development, and civilization perhaps was rearranged, and people lived more simply, they had fire, and perhaps they lived without many things that you have today, so many conveniences. But they were still led. Even the people that lived in the wilds of wilderness, something impulsed them to taste a mushroom, to combine a vine, to explore certain things, to drink from a certain water. There's always been this multidimensional part of yourself, no matter what slice of civilization you live in. You're all connected. Call it what you will. There's good connections based on who you are, what you think your meaning and purpose is, but mostly what you value. We know that's a trite word. Mostly what you believe in. You can be a good person and have very, very fearful beliefs. So everyone would say, why does all these bad things happen to that nice person? They don't know that you are walking around calling in fear because you expect it. Your beliefs really could be defined as how you expect reality to meet you. Now you know that your parents can teach you beliefs. You can have genetic beliefs, even though your DNA is a record of the entire ancestry of who you are. You cannot always access it. And even though George Bush #1, he pushed through this program to the genome must be decoded, and of course they convinced you that they decoded it. And we'll say no way. They decoded a layer. Just like the hieroglyphics and the glyphs and everything around, there's many, many layers. A number of years ago you had books called the Bible Code. Things are always written in many layers, many levels of understanding. There's cryptology, there's encryptions, and so this is part of the mystery of that you live within in 3D. But remember, 3D is influenced and supported by dimensional realities. Where are they? Are they on the other side of the moon, someone would say? Well, they must be where? Are they? They're in heaven. Well, heaven, actually, when you translate heaven into Sumerian lingo there, it is An. Anu, that name means heaven. Anu is like that who will call all that is up here Anu. You call it heaven as you translate it, but it means that when you look up from his point of view, That's his territory. We say when you look at nature and you look at the majesty that is around you, you meet the divine. Anu is not the divine, nor are any of his family members. As above, so below. You see the struggles that you are dealing with here, the mental collapse, the inability to process so much data and to figure out what's real, what's the truth. This is creating more and more mental instability on the planet. And of course, everyone who took a vaccination and who believed the deceptions, they are more easily manipulated. These were not innocent, helpful, healthful protectors. The whole theories of vaccinations has long been discussed. David Rockefeller was the most famous for saying, once we convince them to get vaccinated, they'll do anything we want. We'll invest in the vaccinations and we will own them. He was thinking pure money. Rockefellers, they were all about money. But dimensionals could use the Rockefellers to carry out an agenda where the Rockies oh wow, we own them, look, we can now get their body parts, we can do anything we want, we can create a medical tyranny. The dimensionals are thinking, oh good, we got them selfish, greedy. You're dealing with greed versus gratitude now. Gratitude for simply being smart enough, each of you, to place yourself in this time with your wits about you to figure things out, and to recognize truth when you hear it, to figure out, as we help you and others, how to be comfortable, to be in your body, and to come into your own majesty. So we are making a point here because you are broken. Things are breaking down. There's no saviors, there's a lot of betrayers, a lot of good guys being promoted that are not good guys. And of course there's a lot of people that are made out to be good guys and they're giving a bad guy rap, and they might not. That may be theater too. As we mentioned early on, to quote ourselves, the only way you're going to make it through all of this is to develop your psychic abilities to read energy and to connect with this multidimensional goodness, godness, divineness, and recognize you are that. It operates through you based on your beliefs and your own goodness. Now, everyone does bad things, or what you call bad things. We said years ago that in the mind of the divine first cause, all that is, divine mind creator, go out and do what you will. This is how you learn. Which we said the advice is, do no harm. That's the advice. Because what you do will come back to you. So we are making some circle backs here, as the lingo goes. And Saturn is going to teach everyone on the planet major lessons. Now, if you've been an idiot or fool, stupid, or you've been less than goodness, make peace with yourself. Change your behavior. Saturn in Pisces is not a punishment. It is a time to say, I get it. I'm figuring it out. And you see, when you figure it out and you take care of yourself, as you know, you give off a frequency. Everyone gives off a frequency. The people who are losing it are giving off a frequency. And there's going to be more civil collapse, much more mental collapse. And what's happening is that people who are deprived, confused, addicted, you have too much addiction. It's not about exploring things to get into higher states of consciousness. It is hedonistic self-destruction with this fentanyl and cocaine and heroin and everything in excess, whatever it is. So when you do this, you're not fully ensconced in the body. Everyone parties. As we said, they had a champagne party here last night. We were spying, but we won't say anything. And so when you do this in excess, the entities come in, the non-physicals, who love to ride you. And then you start to wear down. And it is the entities, many of them, who can drive you mad and create extreme aberrant behavior. And you start to hear about shootings and robberies and things that make no sense because there's no criminality in it. There's no, oh, I'm going to sneak over here and get away with this. And it's utter insanity with no thought for consequences. Your politics are full of politicians that are what we call fully loaded. Yes, fully loaded. That means that they're carrying around a lot of entities, a lot. These are all very important matters. And in a little bit we are going to tie things up, and Mr. Khan, you all know Mr. Khan now, he's going to chat with us about some of the questions that some of you have emailed or written in, and we've selected some good ones. And as we've ourselves have said before, do not expect us to do your thinking for you, and do not expect us to answer foolishness. You are here to learn. You are here to listen. When our vehicle was growing up, this is something the parents used to tell their children. They'd say, you have one mouth and two ears for a reason. Use your ears. It meant listen. Listen and learn. And stop thinking that other people are going to do things for you. So that's coming up in a bit. But let's scan a bit here and see what is important for all of you to know. Well, here's something that our vehicle's been doing for a long time. She learned it in yoga practices far before we encountered her, so perhaps nearly 50 years ago, but nonetheless. Diaphragmatic breathing, or deep breathing. And you've heard us talk about it again and again, but it is important to understand that when you move the diaphragm, it is a muscle just beneath the bottom of the lungs, and sort of above and around the third chakra. The stomach would sit behind it. It's a muscle. And when you breathe into the bottom of your lungs, and you do it long and slow, that diaphragm moves outward. And then when you exhale, and you exhale long and slow, the diaphragm moves. And if you learn how to breathe deep, you lift the diaphragm up a little bit, and it rolls up and it sort of pushes the air out at the bottom of the lungs. And when you breathe in, it moves and it makes the bottom of the lungs bigger so that you can bring in more oxygenated breath, which has vitality to it. It moves from the lungs into the bloodstream. Picture it throughout the body. And picture this vitalized prana, oxygenated breath, as golden spirals. So, but it also moves something called the cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid. And there is a fluid that is in the spine and around the brain cavity. And when you breathe diaphragmatically, not only does it relax you, and it calms you down, it oxygenates the body and brings you clarity, more vitality, more peace, but it also moves the cerebral spinal fluid up and down the spine. And so when you inhale, when you take it in, it moves it down the spine. When you exhale, it moves it up the spine. And it's important because there's more mind-boggling things that are going to occur. And you are, for the next 2 years, in this system breakdown. And then a reset, a brand new beginning in 2025, all over the world. As you know, the Klaus Schwabs and the globalists, who are all run by others, and some of them are not run by others, some of them are others in disguise as humans. This is the truth. They are here. They've long been here. But now they've returned. And there's a battle. And that battle, in terms of time, as you know, comes around every 2,000, 2,100 years. There's big changes, shocking changes that you're going to have to integrate. And so, not only will there be population decimation, many people will not be able to handle the instability, not only of food issues, and you will have food issues come May for a year. Jupiter will move into the sign of Taurus, and Jupiter's the big expander. Taurus is farmland, food, sex, the financial systems. So it could expand the problems, exasperate the problems that are going on in all these areas. And sex, of course, is about sensuality and sexual pleasure, but you're also caught up on the scorpionic end of sex, and you have the nodes there, transiting nodes there between North Node Taurus, South Node Scorpio. And this is where all the trans madness is coming from. And it is indeed hardly any words to describe how out of balance, out of sync, and how distorted and how damaging all of these actions are. It is a testimony to how easily you can be conditioned, controlled, and believed into situations that do you no good at all. Yet no one's a victim. Everyone's a creator. So all the participants, they're in a karmic cycle. They are once again playing the Anunnaki genetic engineering, rearranging humanity game. And the stakes are super high because lots of billions of people have taken those vaccinations. Now today, there's such a thing as pure blood, no vaccination, pure sperm, never been vaccinated, pure embryos, pure eggs, never vaccinated. This is the human species. If you drank the Kool-Aid, took the shot, it's your job to understand there are protocols and doctors and all manner of people that will help you to shed it off or to eliminate the spike proteins. And perhaps Mr. Khan will bring up a few things there, along with Dorsey brought it up there, the egg yolks. Interesting, the eggs are disappearing or not there when it's been shown that the egg yolks, the sinful part of the egg that crazy people won't eat because they're afraid to gain a quarter of an ounce or some insanity, but nonetheless. All right, we believe that we've given you a bit of a review, a little peek at the pigeons there. They're working on their book. Again, they've puffed themselves up. They're aiming to be major pigeonette. Yes, pigeonette, they've got that now. The pigeonette, they're going to be the primary influencers. And we'll see if they have any more inside scoops about what's going on in the halls of secret Washington. We'll wait now. But now, it's time, we believe, to give Mr. Khan his due. Welcome, Mr. Khan.
Welcome.
And we are doing good on time, yes?
Yes.
excellent. And let's just say we have all the time in the world. It is only you who live your lives by the beeper. We have to adjust ourselves to the beeper. And it is interesting. Today, you will be the beeper keeper, just like Roger. Dorsey is the beeper keeper once in a while. But also, you are also, like Roger, a fur daddy.
Yes.
All right, so it is, and people are laughing because there's a lot of fur daddies out there and fur mommies too. But anyways, let's get on with it. Welcome again, and you are going to, may have your own questions, or you may want to question us on something we just presented, and if it brought anything up, and then we can get to questions that people want to know. Will that work out?
Yes, that'll work.
All right, good.
Well, I just wanted to mention you had brought up eliminating the spike protein, and there is a.
We thought you were going to mention the champagne. That's all right, no problem. Spike protein. Let's get with it.
I did my best to get you guys champagne, but your vehicle wouldn't allow it. And
you're making her sound very bad.
I'm sorry. I would.
She's a gatekeeper, though, when it comes to we and drinking.
I promise I will. In the future, if you'll have me, I promise every session I'll bring champagne for you.
That's a huge bribe.
I think of it more as an incentive.
All right, we could use that word
but it's
too.
more out of just gratitude, because
yes,
I really wanted to give you guys champagne, but she just wouldn't allow it.
We know, that's why.
And we have so much here. Just.
All right, Mr. Kahn, you are carrying on.
Yes.
Giving the Landers a different look on things, but it's all in good jest.
This might not make it into the recording.
Oh, our vehicle. Yeah, well, she'll keep it there. She's having a good time. So, all right. Yes, but it is true. Many, many people over the years have given our vehicle bottles of champagne for we, and she's got a cupboard full, there's no doubt. And so she was going to have a party, and Mr. Kahn, who's quite tall, perhaps he's a little giant there, and he can reach all these things that are way up there, and they did an evaluation, and they were reasonable. And there's plenty more bottles up there. So, and we are quite pleased that you have incentives for us. You are incentivizing us to do certain things, like they were incentivizing people to get the COVID shot. No, nothing like that.
It's more of a gift.
Gift, all right, that was good. All right, Con, we like to joke and play, and let's get on with it.
Well, before I get into
the details.
Well, there is a supplement. You mentioned the egg yolk. There is a supplement that your vehicle saw fairly recently, and it's called nanokinase.
Nanokinase.
Yes.
And it's out of soy, yes, fermented soy?
It is out of soy.
And it is, our vehicle saw it in the Epoch Times, and it is this gooey, stringy, sort of yucky, gelatiny thing that's now been put in a capsule.
Yes, and it has been shown to deal well with the spike protein.
Nanokinase.
Yes.
All right, it's close enough, and it's available, yes?
Yes, it's available at any supplement store.
All right, so go for it, people. There is no reason not to be well, and there is no reason to fear your body and to fear this pestilence and this plague. As some have pointed out, if you study the biblical scriptures, which they've been edited, of course, but they're very interesting because they do tell stories of what happened on the planet. And it seems that when people are out of sorts, we're being a very nice way of saying it, plagues come. And of course the global elites have been looking to plague you from the HIV and polios and avian flu, and there's a couple of them out of Africa that are quite deadly, and Ebola, and here's the thing. You are here for a reason. This is the nano and post-nano years. These are the most exciting times and hard times to be alive. There's no nostalgia about it. It's intense. Take care of yourselves. Don't worry. Remember the forbidden words when you speak to us. No guilt, no should, no trying, no worry, no doubt. The Aussies have a great expression. They always say, "No worries, mate. No worries, mate." And hello again to New Zealand, Aussie, and everyone south of the equator. Mexico, South America, Africa, India, China. Oh, they're all over. We have lots of listeners. So remember that, people. You can heal yourself. The body can heal. There is purpose and significance. Your fears and the fears of the media and the medical profession. That's how they make their money. That's how they control you. Learn about the herbs, essential oils, everything alternative. Because what's going on is that when the manure hits the fan, there's always a whole bunch of people that say, "What the manure is happening?" And then they say, "This doesn't make any manure sense." And so they start researching and inventing and sharing, and which your main media is out there not going to promote the discoveries. They are purposely designed to psyop you, to control you, to keep you in fear and in confusion so that you will obey, be on time, and now today they want you to die. You must speak, manifest, live, and think, and play and have fun, and drink champagne. All right.
Pete, there's two other supplements that I wanted to go ahead and mention.
Of course.
One of them is the acronym is NAC. It's
NAC.
N-acetylcytosine. And then there is another that is glutathione.
Glutathione,
Yes. And I believe glutathione is known as the master antioxidant.
Absolutely.
Is that correct?
If you eat good, fresh foods, whole foods, you're going to help. But in times of intensity, stress, and all that's coming at you can deplete you. This is why you must hydrate, you must breathe, you must sleep, you must play. So these are good things. Let's move along here.
Well, Pease, you'd mentioned how entities like to ride us.
Yes.
And entities, in some cases, attack people.
Yes.
Well, when people die, when they pass on, are they at risk of also being attacked on the other side?
Deaths are very different, just like lives are very different. So when they get to the other side, it depends. It depends on how they lived. And when you get to the other side, there's no time. So that's why when people talk about having a life review, in some capacity, different advancements in awareness may experience the dimensions in a variety of ways. It's very in now, and has been for, maybe 50 years, in the Western Hemisphere, for people to die, perhaps on an operating table, and see themselves being resuscitated. Or people, however, die, and then they're brought back. You have defibrillators, you have all manner of super tech that can see heart rate, heartbeat, breath, boop, 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 flatline. And then they do all kinds of things to bring you back. Some people have been in and out many times. And it's a common theme that people, when they go out, they meet a glory. And the glory is quite overwhelming to them. And they are told that they have to go back, that they have things to do. Some have died, and they said they found themselves in hell.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to see hell, pain, suffering, so that they would have greater value of their life. And then they had to go back. So how you meet the next dimension, let's call it, is based on your beliefs, your values, your expectations, and how you live, your character. And the sad thing is that we are seeing on your world, and of course this is why we came to your world, because we said long ago that we were drawn here from the future because a tyranny began, extensive tyranny, really took off during the nanosecond years and beyond. That would be 1987 through 2012. It was building for a long time before, but it really solidified. And a clash, let's say a clash of forces, was going to occur during those years. And the Anunnaki knew about it because they are not in the same time you are, and they have abilities. Well, we're not going to compare apples to pears. Our abilities, we have learned how to see through time to some extent. We don't manipulate time, we play with time. And we have learned how to look back in time. And all time is simultaneous once you are out of any local custom. So the Anunnaki have their own local custom of time based on what you would call their orbital structure. But they also then would have the ability to operate in other aspects of time, if that makes sense. So when you die, you are going into a timeless zone, and depending upon what you expect, how you lived your life, will determine the gateway. Many people are met by loved ones. It's very, very common. So it can be different for all. What else did you want to know?
Do the Anunnaki have the ability to control and direct these entities?
Oh, yes, they do. They have the ability to control the death portal. They have the ability to trick you. They have the ability, sorry to say, to blind you by the light. And it's sort of a twisted thing there. People used to think, go to the light, and you are saved. Yes, yes, yes. But the Anunnaki are devious. Not all of them. They're not to be trusted because they are in collapse in the same way that you are in collapse. As above, so below. As the astrology in your solar system is determining a cyclical development, and basically it's under now Saturn and Pluto and Neptune, the Anunnaki, because they are involved with your world, they're involved with your cycles and their own cycles in the cosmos, and it's all falling apart for them. There's no glorious transition here. It's the dark forces have returned, the lower gods. They feed off of chaos, of war, of perversion, of reversals, of inversion.
Off of fear.
Off of fear. And the opposite of fear is, of course, love. But what is love? And love can be, people can love popsicles, all right? Or people can love to be beaten up, or they love to create sexual abuse. So love has many frequencies. The genuine love that comes from the heart, this is the center of the body, the green chakra, it is this that the extraterrestrials do not have. Some itsy-bitsy, but most of them are devoid. They are more marauders, conquistadores, mercenaries. They're cosmic explorers, and their manure's hitting the fan. And it's like, if we can only get this, and if we can restore this, and wipe the earth of this, and wipe these pesky humans because we can't figure them out, and they have too much power, and we have to continue shut their power down with devices, with fear, with genetic engineering. Let's break up their families. If we break up the family, then we can control them. You understand?
Yes.
Understand. Now, family can be a loaded word for many, many, many a person. And this is where all your karma lies. This is where your love lies. This is where your anger lies. Family is a hotbed for everyone. And everyone's family's different, and you choose your family, and your parents choose you, and it's all done on that delta 4 frequency or even theta level. It's done in the garden of the mind on those frequencies that still operate within the biological being. It's the P, the conscious mind. You have to really, really, really learn how to develop those neural networks so you can read your own self to get in touch with what was locked down by the extraterrestrials in the DNA and in the cranial capacity. But it still operates, but without your conscious knowledge. So if you don't have conscious knowledge of what's in your body, even in all of your genetics, they can play you like a piano. By species, by race, by gender, by locality, by vicinity. You are creatures of your environment. You are creatures of your genetics. To fight over race and to call people racist it's like two little kids fighting, one saying, "You're fat." "No, you're fatter." "You're fat." "You called me fat." "You're fat." It is beyond stupid. Because it implies something that the gods want you to do, is to fight and to stay separated. You are who you are. As people, you all have your talents. In the ideal, there may come out of all this chaos and confusion a greater self-acceptance. This whole idea of body dysmorphia and whatever, because you're being lied to so much, all people, they're not comfortable with who they are. But we digress. Please continue, Mr. Khan.
He's a listener wanted to know how they could call upon their ancestors and loved ones that had reincarnated. They wanted to know how they could call upon those reincarnated ancestors and loved ones to help us.
All right, so when you die, you go over and you are who you are, and in general, your beliefs will lead you somewhere. But you're going to spend some time, the first few days, so to speak, on this side, figuring things out, having your review, being met by others, and have a deep look at life. And you have to look at all your uh-ohs, and oh my gods, and oh I wish I didn't. You will have to look at all those. And for some people it will be felt in the heart. For others, they would be still so cold that they would be looking at something, but they would never feel the emotionality of their consequences. Because you see, when you are dying, when you review your life, you are meant to have an intense emotional, spiritual experience so that you feel, you yourself, feel and receive everything that you gave out. That's your godhood. That's you meeting you as a god. You were a creator, you created all this stuff, you died, you're on the other side. Everything, the scene comes before you, here it is, birth to death, but you feel it, you don't just see it. You feel the goodness that you gave others and how they felt about you, and you feel how you hurt others, or you feel the evil that you did to others. Believe it or not, some will still reincarnate to go back and do evil, but that's another story. So then you spend some time over there, but time again is timeless, and you would go to perhaps a larger oversoul. And again, if you want to understand more about how this process occurs, the books of Jane Roberts, The Education of Oversoul 7, and there's 3 of those books, give you an idea. So you meet up with this sort of self, larger self, and it helps you process what's going on. And you're thinking, some people think, oh, this is going to be the end all. This oversoul is going to be so together. And the oversoul might be an oversoul, might be partially together, but the oversoul might be a new oversoul and to figure things out. So then it's not all picnics and Jesus and Golden Gates and St. Peter or whatever religion that you are engaged in and you've been conditioned to believe how it's going to be. It's too hard to capture the majesty of that dimension and the complexity of it in the 3D. It's like flying in an airplane and seeing the world beneath you and saying, I'm going to take a picture with my little Kodak camera. And then when you get home, you develop the picture and you say, look at this picture I took out the airplane window. It's the world. It looks like nothing. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So it can't be captured. But so what do the ancestors do? So the ancestors, so say your grandparents are on the other side, and you love them and they loved you, and you have parents, and so say you have 4 grandparents and 2 parents and a few aunties and uncles, and you love them and they loved you, and perhaps some of them have been gone quite a while, and they've created a new self that you don't know, that's incarnated someplace else around the world. And it could be in the past or the future or the now. But the being that you knew, that loved you, is that the beeper?
That is the beeper.
All right. It's whipping by here. That being, say your grandmother, your grandfather, they would maintain that identity in stasis, let us say, in situ. It would be there, waiting. And when you needed that image of who they are, their larger self, their oversoul, would make sure that your grandparents, through the oversoul, would still always be working with you, while they blended with the oversoul, and the oversoul sent out another version of itself that would be also an extension of the grandparents. That's how they still work with you. Go for it there, Mr. Kahn. What else?
We have another listener that wanted to know how they could, how we can meet and connect with a good relationship.
Oh, this is the fellow from Israel, yes?
Yes, it is.
Elad?
I believe it is.
Yes, that is Elad. Thank you for writing in, but he also sent a big of a head up there, and very sincere man, said he was concerned that all manner of young people were dying in Israel.
Yes, he did.
And Israel, along with England, we believe, and Ireland, are the most vaxxed countries in the world. So you are going to see the biggest problems there. And the vax, just to digress for a moment, created a lot of sudden deaths. This is not decreased at all. And let's talk about Edward Dowd and what he's saying in a moment. It's steadily increasing. And again, we mentioned you won't get peak on this till at least 2025, and then you will have to do the downward slide. It's the older people who get sick. It's the younger people who are doing sudden dying, just to think about. And lots of them are doing more athletic, extensive work. All right, Elad, very heartfelt question, because many people who pursue higher consciousness, metaphysics, as it was long called, meta meaning above or more than the physical world, metaphysics. So when you start to explore the greater mysteries of life, when you start becoming aware that your thoughts create reality, that you are a conscious thinking being, that you have purpose, that there's meaning to everything, there's significance everywhere, that you have a fortitude within you, a resilience. Mark that word down, people. You have resilience in you. The more aware you become, in the capacity we are talking about, the more resilient you are. Some of you think you have to be aware of the news. You have to be aware of the larger picture, the bigger picture issues, as we like to call them. So, many of you feel alone. And this is why you go to conferences or meetings or events where you can meet people. Do not meet people online. You may want to be part of a little group or chitter-chatter, but it is foolishness to play with the devices because you are manipulated, you are tracked. The AI now is going to be a very, very, very dark force. Just to add this in, there's a paper out there. More than 50,000 people have signed a petition saying that all AI research must immediately be paused. Something to think about. So, you have to want something. You are energetic beings, and you want from your brain and your heart. And if you do the moon papers, that means you put a paper out at the full moon, charge it up, and then at the new moon, and there will be a new moon, well, in a few days here, April number 20, you have a solar eclipse at the end of Aries, and then minutes later, the sun moves into Taurus, and of course the moon will be there too, and the sun, of course, goes to Taurus, so things are going to be more practical, grounded. Then the next day, Ramadan ends, and you have Mercury retrograde. So at the new moon, you write down what you want on a piece of paper. And remember, you never have to know how what you want is going to happen. You get in your own way and you overanalyze things. Get out of your own way. Know what you want. Whether it is a way out of a difficult situation, whether it is to increase your worth or your finance, or whether you want more guidance or ancestors, or you want to meet friends, or you want to meet someone that you can love to develop a relationship with. Be clear. Be clear. Trust that because you are clear and you are creator, you will get what you want. Ask for signs. And then take action. Take action. We had an expression we used to say years ago. It was called double eye ear. Double eye ear. It helped you to create what you want. First eye was intend. Clear intention. The next eye is imagine it. Imagine it. This is where your power is. Picture it. Picture yourself having a good time. Picture yourself meaningful relationship. Then ear. E-A-R. Expect it. Not in an entitled way, but an expectation is like a belief. I believe that I will attract a worthy partner, someone to have fun, someone that I can... And you want to have similarities. If you are in this kind of work, you are going to want someone else who understands some of it. You don't want to just get surface things or monetary things. So, intention, imagination, expectation, action. This is where you say, I'm going to go to a book signing. Oh, they're going to have an author at this bookstore. Or I think I'll go to this event where they're teaching astrology. Or, oh, they're doing a sky watch. Or I'll go to the planetarium. Or I'll go to the natural health store. Or I will go to... And you go to meet people. And you step out, you say hello. Double eye ear, intention, imagination, expectation that you are a powerful being and you can create what you want. Take action, get off that couch, and get off those deadly devices and go somewhere. Go somewhere. Especially go places and join things where you would meet people that would be interested in what you're interested in. Go to a dowsers convention, a dowsing meeting, a UFO conference. There's all kinds of things out there. And then R stands for you get results. That goes for all of you. And it was a heartfelt question. And you want to find astrological compatibility, but there's plenty of people out there looking for others of like-mindedness and goodness. And we'll give you a little help, Elad. Just as a favor for asking such a good question. All right, Mr. K.
Yes.
The charismatic K. Continue.
Well,
we are on the beeper.
we are on the beeper.
Well, all right. That's it. Now, our vehicle said something about mention Edward Dowd.
Yes, you did.
That would be a good finish up here.
Yes.
So he is a sort of a statistical analysis, a high roller, Blackwater, former Blackwater, BlackRock, whatever one of those.
BlackRock, I believe.
BlackRock, yes. But he's got the scoop, and he's been doing studies. He's got the book out, and he's showing that the COVIDs is you're being lied to beyond reasonableness, as others are being, the leaks that are all out there showing that everything you've been told about Ukraine, you're lied to too. Fleeced again. So remember that. You're going to get fleeced again and again, people, because that's the name of the game now. It's not just the world controllers who want to do this to you. This is not just the Anunnaki or the ETs. This is a divine, majestic, mind of God opportunity. Think of it this way. The divine mind says, every once in a great while, I've got to host a great convention. And I'm going to invite all the players. Right now it's going to happen on Earth for many of them. And they'll come from all over the cosmos. Just picture it. Picture the spheres, the bubbles, the dimensionals. Picture it. Other versions of yourselves. Picture it. And they're all going to converge because they're going to have an opportunity to figure out how grand my existence is. But my existence is grand because of them. They make it grand. They are me. They are creators. And what a joke. They're going to have a good time and figure it out. Oh, they'll poison each other and kill themselves and torture and destroy, and they'll live again and again. And they'll get what they give. Be good, do good, and you will receive good. People, far and wide, all over the world. You are great creators. It is within you. You can teach, you can heal, you can move forward, you can get out of any difficult situation. But be in your body, and yet look up to the stars, reach up, realize that those dimensions are there. There's a sense, a vehicle called it the seventh sense, this sense that you are connected to non-physical reality. And when you ground yourself in, and you keep a strong aura, and you light up those chakras and keep them the colors that they are, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So simple. Just keep those colors clear. It's the simplest way to do it. You are in charge. But you will be fleeced. You will be psyoped. You will be tricked. Not because the globalists want to play their game. Because divine mind gives you the opportunity to be divine yourself. To become all-knowing, or as much as you can, as a creature. And to be generous. To be grateful. And to understand that those who are greedy, they must show themselves now, so that the others can realize the importance of spiritual renewal, spiritual connection, and of course, the I amness, as some call it, that you are the divine expressing itself with graciousness and utmost patience through all of your creations. So, dear friends, we bid you to create the best. Mr. Khan, we extend our great gratitude to you, and you are now on our indebted list for being a champagne aficionado and someone who leans in our favor. So with all good due jest, coo, coo, coo. Fly high for freedom, dear friends, from the pigeons. Good evening.
Good evening.